To some people this entity manifests itself, but they are forced to leave that place because their loved ones are present at that place. Today, I am going to share with you a story that a girl told me in India. It has been sent from this tells that we were living in a flat in India which had a building of deserted flats in front of it. When we opened the balcony door, we could see flats immersed in darkness in front of us. We were very scared of that place at night. Some paranormal activities used to happen with her, and in this situation, her husband also got possessed. Now she says that I could not leave her, but she used to wake up at night and do some strange acts. This story is very scary, and for those who demand a long story has come for them, so hold your heart. Before starting the story, I would like to tell you that if you have not subscribed yet, then subscribe to it. Then let's move towards our first story. I belong to Moradad from India, and I am 27 years old. I got married 2 years ago, and after marriage, I came to Chandigarh with my in-laws and started living there. After some time, my husband said that we would have to live in Punjab because my office had been shifted there, so I moved the place because I used to live there too. The flat we had taken was quite big and luxurious as per the family, so I and my husband bought more money. Didn't think and took it when we shifted there. What I am telling you is from November 2021, and I listen to your story daily, and so does my husband. So I thought I should tell because I have been listening to it for a long time. Now I am feeling very courageous even while telling you this story. I want to tell you that this is from November 2021, only 2 weeks had passed in that flat and something happened to us that I could not even imagine even while writing now. I am feeling bummed. It was about 16 or 17 days since we shifted to that flat. My husband used to come from the office at 9 o'clock, and after having dinner, we used to go to sleep while watching TV. There is a small balcony in our room. I will send you the photo of the room which is attached to it, and there are more flats built behind the balcony which are not built yet and are incomplete, and there is another flat in front of our balcony. Its balcony is visible to us from our balcony. I will also send the video, so you will understand. I am very afraid of darkness, so we keep it closed most of the time. When we went to sleep that night, after having dinner and watching TV, there was a strange smell in the room, very strange, as if something had rotted. If it had been spoiled and had not been thrown away, my husband and I thought that some rat must have died, but we checked every corner of the room and there was nothing there. My husband thought that it must have died on the balcony, so when he opened the gate, the smell increased and he immediately closed the door because, as I told you, we did not open it at night. After all, there was a strange and scary atmosphere outside. The flats in front were deserted, and you might not be able to imagine that. But he immediately closed the door and told me to use the room freshener, and we will look into the matter in the morning. I did the same on his request, and we lay down to sleep. It must have been only a couple of hours since we slept that someone woke us up by knocking on the wall of the room very loudly. I got scared, and I told my husband that there was someone there. Someone knocked. He used to get very tired after working and used to sleep very deeply in the office. He did not know it. So when I spoke to him, and he said, "How can anyone come there? You must be under the illusion that you will go to sleep." So I lay down back. I was feeling scared, but I lay down and started sleeping, and suddenly again there was a sound of knocking continuously. My husband also woke up. When we heard this sound, we were shocked as to how this sound was coming. When we removed the curtain, we saw that no one was there. What should we do at that time? So we tried to go back to sleep without paying much attention, and that sound also stopped. We woke up in the morning. My husband went to the office, and I started doing household work. I got tired while working, and I went to sleep at around 2 in the afternoon, because we had taken a new shift, so there was a lot of work to do at that time. So I was tired, so I thought of taking a rest for a while, and I went to my bed and lay down because it was winter time. So as soon as I took the blanket up, I had just been lying down for 10 minutes, and I felt like someone was on my side. When I felt him coming under the blanket and lying behind me, I started sweating. I did not dare to look back because I was alone in the house and I was also very scared. My phone was on the side of the bed as if it is a habit to keep the phone with you while using it, so I slowly picked up my phone and started messaging my husband because I was afraid of making a call so that he might not react after hearing my voice behind me. He was behind me, so I messaged my husband that someone was lying on the bed with me because I was not able to understand what to say and what not to say. My husband had a strange reaction. "What are you saying about what? You are talking because no one will understand when you send such messages," so I told him to just come home quickly. His office was not very far, it was just a 20 to 25 minute journey and he was going to the office in his car. When I was going, he said that I had only a little work left, I would finish it, so I said that I just come home quickly. I mustered up courage and looked back in my black coat. There was no one there, so I felt a little relieved. Came and then I thought that maybe this was my illusion. I thought that I should convince my husband not to come home early and come after doing his work. Then as soon as I picked up the phone to send a message, I felt as if someone came in my ear and called my name twice. I was shocked as to what happened to me. I got very scared and started sweating profusely. My body became completely hot, so I quickly took off the blanket and came out of the room. I went and stood on my balcony. There were people in my neighborhood when we shifted there, so I had a little conversation with them. They both were husband and wife and they had a small child, so I went to them and told them that something like this had happened to me. Then she started laughing after listening to me and told me that we had been living here for so long, so nothing like this had ever happened to us. Why did this happen to you? They were living there for a long time. So I told him that he should come and see my house once, and when he came to my house, he did not feel anything like that and everything seemed normal there, so he said that he should not be worried, maybe it was because of his work. You have taken the stress from this and you have just got married, so he explained to me a little. I got a little relaxation. Then he said that if you feel anything, if you have any problem, you can come to me and after that, I will come back. She came to my room and sat down. Then I thought that I should do some work, otherwise my mind would go to this side again and again, so I got up and started working. I felt that someone called me from the main gate, so I understood that it must be the lady. When I went and saw that she was not there, I again got very nervous and I locked my main door from inside and ran towards my room. When I came towards the room, I felt that someone was coming to me from the room. He was calling me, so I did not understand what to do and what not to do at that time. Then at that very moment my husband came. I went and opened the gate and told him that this is what was happening to me when he saw my face. My face was covered with sweat. I had become redder because I was feeling very scared at that time and my heartbeat had also become very fast, so they made me sit on the bed, gave me water, etc. and they said that you are stressed because of work. You don't think too much about it, so I said it's okay and then I didn't pay much attention to it. So that day when my husband came from the office, gave me water to drink, etc., made me a little normal and gave me medicine and made me sleep, he told me to go and sleep. Go, I am here, I will take care of the remaining work. So I slept for a while. Then when I woke up at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, I went to the kitchen to cook. Then I saw that the food was already ready. It was ready. My husband had prepared the food. He is a very good cook. Then at 9 o'clock we had dinner and he sat for a while and listened to the news, etc. and then we went to sleep because I had woken up in the evening, so I could not sleep. I was coming and I thought of using the phone for a while. My husband was asleep and I was using the phone, and then again the same activity happened as had happened earlier. Then someone knocked on the balcony behind us. At that time in the night, it was 1 a.m. and even at that time no one had touched our bathroom and I was very scared. I woke up my husband and told him that the same thing was happening again, so I was angry. Who was doing all this? So she said that I would leave only after I found out who was there, and she went and opened the door, and as soon as she opened the door, a very strong gust of wind came into our room. Although the weather outside was absolutely fine, there was no wind blowing, so my husband said that look, the wind is blowing, etc. So maybe that is why there was knocking. It was nothing, and then after some time my husband's behavior started changing. After 10 minutes he suddenly got up and sat down while lying down. I was lying down because I was scared. Because of this, I was not able to sleep. I asked him what happened. Do you want anything? He said no, I don't want anything, sleep quietly. He never used to talk to me like this, but at that time he spoke very angrily. When he talked to me, I couldn't understand what happened to him, so I thought maybe he got irritated by these things and his sleep got disturbed. That's why he was angry, so due to this, I went to sleep around 4:30 the night. When I felt thirsty and got up to drink water, I saw that my husband was sitting in the same position as he was sitting before I slept, and I was very scared to see him like this. His eyes were completely red. I shook him and said to him, "What has happened to you? Why are you not sleeping? It is 4 o'clock in the morning. Why are you sitting like this?" It happens in our place that when the worship starts in the Gurudwara, everyone here things go away. At that time also all this had started in the Gurudwara, so I opened the door of the house so that that voice could reach him. So that voice was reaching him, but there was no effect on him and he was in the same position. He was sitting in the room. He was also shaking. His body was not moving at all, so I immediately went to my neighborhood to call him. It was 4 o'clock at that time and everyone was sleeping. Then I tried a lot but no one came. I didn't even come. I came back to my house in fear. I tried to shake my husband again. "Please wake up, what happened to you?" He listened to me, he raised his mouth, and as soon as he looked into my eyes, his look was so scary that I could not tell you. And I immediately stood behind. I started reading loudly according to my religion. Then he started shouting angrily to me that shut your mouth, and someone else's voice was coming from inside him. It was a woman's voice. He was repeatedly saying, "Shut your mouth," but I didn't stop. I had a love marriage with him, so I couldn't leave him in this condition and run away. I thought that I didn't want to stop. I could do whatever I wanted. I will keep on studying, and he was shouting very badly as if he was having pain in his ears after listening to that, and when I was continuously studying as per my religion, he fainted and fell on the bed, so I poured water on his face. Ants attacked him and woke him up. When he came to his senses he held his head and said that he was having a lot of headaches. At that time he did not remember anything. I also did not think it was right to tell him anything because if I told him, he would if he got upset then I would let it be. I thought that I would call my mother in the morning and tell her that all this happened to me in the night. As soon as he woke up in the morning, his condition was very bad. He was vomiting a lot. I gave him breakfast and he did not even take a single bite. I told him to take leave from the office today, but he did not listen to me and went to the office. I was alone at home and I was feeling scared, so I quickly finished my work and went to my neighbor's house. And after going there and telling them all this, they suggested to me that there is a very big temple there. According to our knowledge, I should go to those who have a lot of knowledge about this thing and share it with them. I thought that I would share it with them. Then I thought that I would tell my mother, and then she would tell me that she has a love marriage, as is often said in society. Then that lady took me to her. I told her everything. All this had happened in my house and with my husband, so she told me. Gave me a talisman to tie on my husband's hand, so I said okay, I will tie it, and she said that when your husband comes home, make him drink water and sprinkle raw milk lassi on your husband and hit it in the house as he said. I did the same thing, I splashed it on him, so believe me, at that time my soul trembled after seeing all that. Wherever it splashed on him, that part of his body got burned. Seeing this I was very scared. What happened to him? At the same time, he immediately shouted, "What have you put on me? What are you doing?" I did not put any more on him because I could not hurt him. Then when I told him to tie this in his hand in our house, some negative things will go away with this talisman, but he did not let me tie them. He said that I do not believe in all these things. If you believe, then you can tie them, but do not tie them on my hand. He was very angry with me. They were talking to me, but I was not able to understand what to say to him and how to convince him. I thought that when he would sleep at night, I would tie it to his hand, so I waited for him to sleep, then I tried to tie it in my hand. They pushed me very hard. The push was so strong that I got hit in the elbow, due to which my waist got hurt a lot and the whole waist got swollen, so I got very nervous and I didn't understand what to do. I thought that I should start reading again according to my religion. Maybe something will get better. Then as soon as I started reading, my husband immediately got up from the bed and came out to the lobby, and he was running all over the house, sometimes laughing, crying, and sometimes doing strange things. He even slapped me very angrily. He was trying to stop me again, and his eyes also turned completely red. And I was not able to understand anything, and his health also started getting very bad. Suddenly he was having a fever and vomiting. He had even stopped eating. All this was happening to him for 2 or 3 days. He was becoming very weak. I was worried as to why all this was happening with us, so I gathered courage and locked him inside the house, and I went to the same pandit again at around 2:30 in the night, because our temple is open all the time. And those pundits are also the same. When I told him that all this was happening in my house, what should I do, then that pundit got very nervous because he had never seen anything like this. I started crying a lot in front of him, then he said that it was okay. I will come to your house and help you. When I brought him home, he was not able to enter the house, and my husband was sitting in a corner looking at Pandit Ji and laughing, and that laughter was very scary. He said something was stopping me. I was not able to come inside, so she gave me something like ash and said to go immediately and sprinkle it on her. As soon as I started going towards my husband, he pushed me away. I gave a signal and all the utensils started falling on their own, and I was scared to see what they did. That night was very scary. No one should even have such a bad dream as what had happened to me in reality. Then I mustered up a lot of courage and went to their house. Throwing ashes on him, he suddenly became unconscious and a white shadow came out of him, and then Pandit Ji immediately came inside the house, and then that shadow suddenly disappeared. Then he made my husband lie down on the bed. He asked me where all this is, and how did it start, and when did it start. I said the day my husband opened this gate and a gust of wind came in. After that, it started with my husband. After 2 or 3 days, Pandit Ji started studying him. He told me about a Baba Ji, that a Baba Ji sits there. Go to him, he will tell you what to do, and you take your husband to him when the morning comes. I told my husband that I have some work, we have to go somewhere, please take me. So I lied to him that I have to go to the hospital. Then when we reached there, he was not going inside. So he said that you had told me that I have to go to the hospital. When I wanted to go, I said that I had gone to the doctor. I did not feel any relief, so I just came to get relief. He told me that I had never seen any such disease of yours. Then how did all this happen to you suddenly, because I did not understand anything. When he was coming, I kept speaking whatever was coming into my mouth. I told him that if you love me, then come with me. Then that thing was not present to him, that is why he came inside. There was a very old man there. I told him the whole thing. My husband was listening very attentively to all this, so he could not believe that I was telling him all this about him. He started saying, "What are you joking about? I will tell you about that flat. I will also send pictures because I still live there. You will also be surprised as to why I did not leave that flat, because it was not the fault of the flat. Some time ago, 2 laborers and a woman had died due to counting of stones on the back side of our flat. At that time construction work was going on there, and after that, the work there was stopped, and that work remained stopped for many years, but we did not know about this. We came to know about this later, and when our flat was lying vacant for a long time, so old Barber told me that I would ask him some questions, but not here. I would come to your house and ask him. After taking off the talisman etc., he told me, take me to your house, I will come and see you there. But what if there were 2 more people with them? So all 3 of them came to our house, and at the same time they said one thing to me, son, don't be afraid, this thing is very powerful, it will not go away easily. Barber said, take off the talisman from your hand, I want that thing to be present on it and I want to talk to it. As soon as I opened the talisman, that thing came inside at the same time, and my husband started laughing after seeing Barber and started doing strange things Barber told him after reading something above, and then asked him some questions. I came to know that 3 things are dominant in my husband. I was very scared to hear this. Meanwhile, I came to know one thing: he was not bad and did not want to give us any trouble. He had no bad intentions. One of them said that my husband should kill the owner of this flat, but to date, I have not found out why he wanted this, because even Barber did not say anything. Then Barber asked him that he could not do all this. Why do you want to get it done? Then he started laughing very strangely, and then he said that barren flats were lying behind in which we had been locked. The 3 people who were with me, there were 2 brothers and a woman who was the daughter of the elder brother. He had a wife when they died, so the owner stopped working there and did not even pick up her dead body. They had a child who became an orphan, and the entity wanted my husband to kill that owner from within my husband. Sometimes a man's voice was heard, and sometimes a woman's voice. I could not understand what was happening. I felt as if I was dreaming. They wanted my husband to take revenge, and when Barber started questioning him. When we were staying, all 3 of them started laughing. All 3 of them were laughing together, and after that, my husband ran out of the house. All this happened so quickly that no one understood anything. I asked BA, why did you stop him otherwise? He replied, don't worry, he will turn around and come here. Then I told Barber that he was saying that we have to kill the owner, and he is dominating my husband. Lest he do anything, please do something. And when we went outside, because there is construction work going on there, so someone had kept chickens there. When we went and saw that my husband was eating raw chicken, he had a chicken in both his hands, and seeing all this, I felt very bad. I got spoiled. I was seeing everything in front of my eyes, and I was thinking about how to stop them, because whatever that thing was, it was much more powerful than me. Barber had some power type thing. He threw it on my husband and he lost consciousness right there. My husband's mouth and hands were soaked in blood, and there was blood on all his clothes. The 2 men who were with Barber picked him up and brought him to the room. They made him lie down on the bed. I cleaned his mouth. At that time I was very scared. I was coming because there was blood on his mouth and the feathers of chickens. I gathered courage and cleaned everything. By that time my neighbors had also come. Both husband and wife were very nice and still lived in the flat next to us. They were also with us, they helped us, and we made them sit on the chair, and after 10 minutes, that thing again dominated them, and all 3 kept studying my husband for a long time, and whatever entity was inside my husband, all 3 were laughing. After that, Barber threw us all out of the room. We waited outside like this for about an hour or 2, but there was no response from inside, so I started fearing that they might have done something to Barber. After that, Barber came and told me that now this thing has gone from above for some time, that thing cannot come back for 1 or 2 months. If you want to avoid this thing, then the 3 people who died here found out the reason for his death, because his body was not treated with the last dose. That is why he is restless. I told my husband that his health was very bad, then I gave him some courage, and then we told the family also. I told him everything. and then he and my family members also came. Everyone gave a lot of courage, so he was right, and then we got the information done and got the puja done as per our religion, which was an honor. My husband himself went and talked to him and he told me everything, and then to date, no one knows anything about their real life. When I got the puja done there, the owner was also there, and when the puja was over, suddenly the owner had a heart attack and died on the spot, although he had no problem. There was a strange atmosphere there. What happened? I was sitting normally. Suddenly he died. I am thankful that they did not harm my husband, because Baba had said that they could even kill my husband. If we stopped too much or did anything like that, then this was my story which I thought of sharing with you. So friends, this was my today's story. I hope you liked it. If you liked the story, then do not forget to like the video. If you are new to my channel, then subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to turn on all notifications. This will make you a part of my horror stories family, and new notifications from my stories will reach you. Take good care of yourself. Remember me in your prayers. Please allow me. See you in some other interesting story. Goodbye.